but it's the school portfolio for this year.
Okay. Everybody ready? Yes, this is, we're working on this year's, but, well, it's a little of both at this point. It's our new goals, but it, yeah, I guess it's a curve. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, apologies to Mr. Kingren because he suffered through this the other day, so he gets to see it again. This is a notebook that is required by the school district every year for every school in the district. So our teachers have committees where they meet, they have assignments throughout the year with deadlines. This is due this year, the end of next month. So as part of a teacher's 5-year cycle where they receive formal evaluation and a little more intense observations and to look at their teaching skills, practices, and professionality, etc. Part of the requirements is to show leadership. So each teacher is assigned a committee to head, and they make sure that their team does their research. There's a lot of research involved, and lots of statistics to look into, plans for the upcoming year. So this is just an overview of how our school currently looks and places we'd like to go for our school. So we tweak it a little bit from what the district requires. The district has certain criteria that we don't necessarily fit in, but we make it a functional document that we can learn a lot from. So you as PTA, you are also a part of this. So the first part is our school profile, and this is online. There's a link on our front web page. There's also a hard copy in the office if you ever want to look through it. The first part is about our school community, talking about the history of the school, the leadership, the different committees that are currently in place, how our facilities look, how they're unique for Washington Center. Also, here comes a little summary of what we're doing now. The PTA is described in this first part. The new SIC committee is in there, how the parents work through our school, partnerships that we have thanks to the walk and roll, and some other partnerships that we created and use, and then the support services for our students that are available. So this first part looks at where we are currently. Also in this we talk about the personnel. We analyze what are the teaching degrees, what's our staff look like, ethnicity, the male-female makeup, how many parapros, so we can look real quick if we need information, a good source to find that. We look at their student population, some information about that. We even look to how many tube feedings we have, how many do have medical needs, how many have orthopedic needs, so this is where we vary from the district's criteria to take a look at ourselves. We look at the student population and how our Hispanic population has grown. So it gives a good makeup of where our students are, even by disability categories. And then we look at support features, what we do academically. The IEPs are mentioned a little bit here later on, even more, and looking at behaviors and training and some challenges that we have as a special school. So this is our focus, some things that we try to do for our students, and at any time, if anyone wants to tweak these, it's fine, because this year's document is still in the works. So the mission is to provide opportunities for our students to explore and develop potential for independent functioning and community involvement by addressing their individual needs, and to provide instructional opportunities to be exposed to learning through state standards, And we do not see the disabilities, but focus on the abilities. So we see both independent functioning, how they can learn to do up to their potential, as well as academics. So we go into mission, vision, and beliefs. And you know, the motto has been forever, those you think cannot, can. So we focus on the positive, and we look at some of the things down here that are ways that we think our students can achieve, all the way from communication, modified instruction, learn some daily living, socially acceptable behaviors are important, how to participate in activities at home, in the community, with the family, and to use technology. So then we start taking apart and segregating all of our ways to measure student progress. We look at, we analyze, we chart, we graph the IEP data. We take it apart according to student disabilities. We take it apart according to their therapies, how well that they scored meeting their IEP goals in that. We also look at the SEL data. We see for each subject area and overall how our students scored, and I've got a little information of that coming up. And then we look at challenges. What are some places that we should look at that would give us more strength as a school? So that's coming up in our goals. Then we look at our teacher administrator quality. What kind of training can we provide for teachers so that they can give better instruction to our students? So this is a list of some things that we've done this year that help our teachers all the way from a new curriculum called Unique, which has a lot of instruction in state standards. And we do medical, we do physical therapy, occupational therapy, getting ready for the SEL. IEP development is coming up, and of course the technology, and we've done an interesting book study this year too. And then we look at our support services, which involve you, the PTA, the SIC, the steering committee, and we'll see how we're looking to expand our typical peer integrative activities, do some more with students in regular ed, and our CBI and virtual trips to get out in the community and bring some community to us. That will be discussed in a little bit. So all these are strategies that is going to help us meet our goals, and we are still analyzing at this part. So then we come to the crux of our document, which are 5-year goals. This year, for the whole district, we start this year in laying the groundwork for where we want to go. So according to the district, we have to have goals in student achievement, in teacher administrator quality, and in your climate, which involves the parents and community. So this is for a 5-year span, the next 5 years, which we begin this year. So we look at SC Alt, where they're scoring in the alternate assessment. Last year, in both ELA and math, coincidentally, our students scored at 83% above the lowest level. The levels in SC Alt go from 1 to 4. So our goal is for our students not to score in the below basic level, which is a level 1. We want to show improvement, but yet we know all of our students are not going to score level 4 exemplary in all of our tests. That's not our population. So our goal is to stay out of that lowest category and provide instruction, provide support, provide opportunities for students so that they can score better in the SEL. So last year, 83% of our students scored level 2 and above, which is really good. Yes. We've had some in level 4s, but the average, even 3s and 4s. And so only a minority scored in level 1. So that was awesome for ELA and math. So that's our baseline, the 83%. So we want to at least have the 83% in those upper categories for both those subjects. So right now we're developing plans to sustain and improve that percentage in the upper levels. So this document and the committees come up with ideas as to how to support that. And then in IEP goals is another way to measure student progress here. So we don't have pass, we don't have MAP scores, we have IEP. So generally the IEP goal for the school is 80% or more mastery. Last year, 95% of our students scored 80% or above mastery. So that's awesome. That's our baseline, yeah. So we want to keep that up. And so we have strategies that we develop, plans, instruction, as we talked about, the training, the opportunities for students to get out, learn this new curriculum so that we can sustain both of our measures of academic progress, which is the SEL and achievement of IEP scores. So those are our student achievement scores. Then we have a teacher-administrator quality, which is this new curriculum that we are implementing this year called the unique curriculum. Anita could probably tell you a lot more about it than I do. She uses it extensively. It's connected to the Common Core. I know you've seen in the news all about the Common Core standards. The Common Core standards are a little more complex than the state standards that we've used in the past. The Common Core standards want students to rationalize and think and reason how they got to a specific knowledge, which is a little tricky for our students. So this unique curriculum gives us a modified way to look at concepts. There's also a news to youth component of it that brings the news to the students in a modified way, and it's all done online and through the Promethean boards, which are wonderful, and even we've hooked up the iPads with that too, and get some interaction going to get our technology initiatives going as well. So the unique curriculum is proving good. Teachers modify that according to their class. They expand it. They take bits and pieces and kind of make it their own, make it their class. Do you want to give an example of what you've done recently with your unique lessons?
Well, currently we're working on a unique curriculum lesson about maps and geography and regions. What I love about unique is it is saving me so much time with pictures, nice graphics. The graphics are very colorful, so it keeps the student attention. We also use, our speech department helps us with assessment. So we have an interactive assessment on the Board Maker program, where after the lessons that each of the students are learning, now they can come to the board and they can answer questions about the lesson that gives them verbal feedback. So it's really awesome. I'm so not doing it justice by talking about it. I would love for you guys to come and just take a look sometime. Feel free. For my classroom, I usually do this from 9:30 to about 10:15 every day. So I would love for you guys to just come on in the observation room and take a look. I think you'll love watching my students who are verbal, so you'll see the immediate feedback that they give and how they use their words and their voice output devices to work their way through the curriculum. It's wonderful. It has a way for us to test them on baseline knowledge and then go back and see how much they've learned as a result of the curriculum. So,
right. So yes, it's been a treasure of It's done for you. It's got the books, it's got the materials, everything is done. And in a way,
with
yes.
SEALT, which is nice.
Yes, it does. It connects with SEALT. The way you answer this and the concepts really support the test. So all of this is kind of interactive. The unique curriculum is one way we're improving our SEALT scores too. So all of these impact one another. Here's the school climate. One way we want to improve this is that all of our classes, 100% will participate in at least 2 community-based outings and 2 typical peer outings, activities. So we want to get them out in the community, and we want the community to see us. I think, and we all think, the more that our students experience things outside, because I know all of you moms and dads take your guys out. I've seen them. And if we can support that and show them the appropriate behaviors and ways to act in restaurants and at the grocery store and not grabbing things off the shelf and just on and paying and getting a receipt. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, exactly. So, it's just teamwork to make life easier for you and also for those in the community to learn about us and to not, to not back off when they see a disabled child. So the outings are a two-way street, and then to bring the peers into us. So we're working on a lot more initiatives to bring the students in. Also for all of our classes, we're looking into virtual field trips. Dr. Rogers can tell you more about that, where we'll go online and have an interactive lesson at a place that we can't really go to, Australia, maybe, a place that we can't virtually go to. Also is what we are doing with parents and our staff to encourage more input into how the school functions. So we're reestablishing our SIC committee, which met this week, and making some connections there with our staff and community, and also a steering committee met yesterday, which staff can bring forth some things of interest and share and take it back to the classroom and share that. So we're reestablishing these 2 committees as part of our school climate. So that's essentially it. It's quite a long document otherwise, but there is a plan that we come up with yearly, and you should be knowledgeable about that. Do check it online. The whole document is on there, and you'll see all the lovely graphs that the teachers have done. But it's a great learning tool in which we do some self-analysis about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Anybody have some questions about that? Okay, you'll hear more from me as we develop it. Thank you.
Looks like the school's on the right track, right?
There'll be 2 of those with my brothers. One's my parents.
Okay, Keith, I'll let you, do you want to explain some of what you're doing?
The technology stuff?
Sure.
Basically, Karen, Jane, and I met online through a tool called GoToMeeting, which some of you may have already used. It's a Citrix product. And basically, it allows for, say, the 25 or so people, 26 actually, to go ahead and meet online through their webcams or by smartphone with one another, so that you guys could do an executive committee meeting or something like that without having to pull everybody together. If you needed something quick, you could schedule this thing, send it out in an email. Very simple. You click on the link, and it sends you into the program, and then you're connected to the meeting. And you can then see who else is on via webcam. Karen came on with her phone and did just the dial-in, so she was only doing voice. Jane was on a cam, I was on a cam, and you can have, like I said, up to 26 at a time connected.
So do you just dial in and have a code, or you click an email and have a code?
You click an email and have a code, or you can post it out and say, just call this number, and you can listen in and see what's going on, or you can
cool.
interactive. Okay? So I've gone ahead and I'm going to get you get us the tool so that we can use and then assign it, give it to Jane and Karen and give them the sign on and all that so they can use it whenever they need to. And go ahead and do that for the first year.
And it's GoToMeeting?
called GoToMeeting.
And is it an app or?
It's a service and an app together. Yes. It'll work from iPads, iPhones, any smartphone Androids across the board there. And you can, again, go ahead, you can share desktops, so you can agree on a document. You can actually turn over presentation to someone if someone needed to make a change to it or wanted to highlight that document. You can say, hey, there's a problem with this, and they turned over and control that. You could actually, on the fly, correct a document, get that ready to go, and send it out to whoever you need to send it out to get approval or something along those kinds of lines. So it's just something, again, especially really came to a laser point when the weather and all, and we had meetings scheduled and all those kind of things where, especially when you have a project like the walk and roll going on and stuff's got to get done, we really can't afford to miss some opportunities maybe to meet and get that stuff done. So this will afford us that opportunity as long as everybody's power is on. Nobody's fighting that battle, but internet connection. Okay, so
Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon.
That's what they were saying, Snowmageddon.
They're saying we'll need a line item for that because the Keenrans themselves, their family, have been nice enough to buy this for the first year price.
Okay, what are we gonna put on the line item?
The line item.
it'll be a renewal, and I'll send you all the information you need for the renewal.
Just working into the budget.
I know, but what do you wanna call the
I
project?
guess just
Membership to
GoToMeeting.
GoToMeeting.com, okay.
Something along those kind of lines. And it's a
Our
service for
subscription.
the year, so we're going to have to sign back up. This one won't, of course, expire until into 2015. So you won't have to worry about it until probably, mid-year or something next year. Don't worry about that. But also, what we talked about was, what you see here, is videotaping the PTA meetings, and then going ahead and posting that either to the school website, if that's okay, or a Facebook page for something, and then sending out either a paper announcement, I'd recommend both, and an email announcement to say, hey, parents, it's out there. Go take a look. We brought up some items you might want to have some input on. Email us at this address, decide what address that is, with your comments and suggestions, and you guys can then go ahead and we can send back out to them and say, thanks, we got a lot of favorable input, we're going to move forward with this particular project, or we had some questions about something parents recommended, they need some in-service help with understanding something, as we were talking about here, and we talked to the SIC committee, doing lunch and learn type things, I think was what Sue had brought up, to where, or in the evening, inviting parents to come and learn about how to move their children safely, how to, do certain things, how to incorporate technology in their learning, those kind of things that parents might, right, trust and planning and all those kind of things, and what's available. There's a lot of parents that don't realize what DDSN has available, and as everybody knows, if you don't ask them directly for it,
They're not gonna offer
get
it.
it. So
They won't offer
you're-
it.
right, it's available, so we can help proactively get parents that are kind of stuck somewhere, not having equipment or something along those kind of lines. So I'm hoping that this will enable more people to see what's going on, participate. Also a great way to blast out help for stuffing envelopes or sponsorships. It's so.
I think it'll help a lot during the walk and roll. I mean, this time of year.
Yeah, and because mom comes and participates a lot, and I'm definitely on duck here.
Well, we appreciate you.
Dads don't get a lot of that, but here they can actually be forced to sit down and
That's right.
hey, I'm watching this thing, you're sitting down with me here, you're gonna watch this, okay? So, dads, if you get this here, then blame me for getting you involved.
For support groups, one of the things that I found when my son was here and he had spina bifida, hydrocephalus, and panhypopituitarism. It was so hard to find a support group in South Carolina. And I've spoken with parents who said, you know, I would love the opportunity to speak with other parents and just support each other, you know. What about it being used for perhaps support groups?
Sure. Yeah, is the ability there? I don't see why not. And again, as long as there's no limit as to how many meetings you can do that with, or we can record or do anything longer. There's no limit. It's just a matter of availability, who's where, and what you take into account. So as far as technology is concerned, it's very, very affordable. It's free for the most part. We just have to execute it. And we can go ahead and do that. Yes, we can post it on. Yeah. And I'll just get with
Well, I mean, there's some
Jennifer. So I just get with Jennifer, give it to her, you put it wherever you guys want to put it, and then it's got full audio, full video, and they'll have a really nice picture of 25 minutes of people stuffing down the road.
Yeah.
Well, they need to know that we're, what goes on behind the scenes, PTA ain't just all.
It's not so glamorous.
It's not glamour. Not wine and cheese.
As you talk to the tops of our heads, we're like,
We are listening.
We're nodding. We're all nodding.
So if anybody has any other ideas about how they'd like to use technology or how they think you can incorporate it, we've had some conversations, and I believe we're going to move forward with trying to find some partners for adding to and developing our technology in the hands of every child. So if we can get an iPad 1 in the hands of every child,
Wouldn't that be phenomenal?
and again, we can work with companies like Verizon and AT&T and places where people come and do the upgrade. And you've seen it before where people are turning glasses or something like that. Let's see if they'll let us put a box and say, if you're going to upgrade, would you like to donate to the school so we can get this in the hands of the kids?
One of the ideas that they brought up was that we could have the teachers build apps that were aligned with the IEP goals of students, so that then students could take those home and they could work on the school, and they could take it home and parents could work on it with them. Right? I thought that's a great idea. And then also that came out of SIC was the idea of having, though many teachers have on their website appropriate apps or websites, but that if we kind of brought those together and put them on the school website so that people would have access to everybody. And another use of it from technology was the notion of, one of the teachers said, often she needs something for a class, like for instance, she was doing a project, she needed a whole lot of toilet tissue rolls. And because she doesn't have about 5 or 6 students in class, she didn't have enough. But if we had like a wish list, and we could put it up there and say, these are things I need, then any parent can contribute to that. And so we volunteer.
you guys do that.
Yeah, we go through that in my house.
So I think all of those were ideas that you guys came up with in SIC, and I think that was kind of exciting actually. We've already talked to changes. We got that in the post this, and we just move it out.
And we'll talk, and we mentioned about the collecting information.
We've already started on that.
So once you have that, so you have an accurate, that's going to be communication. So smile, you're all on camera.
I didn't know that.
Oh, are we really?
Yeah.
Better off now.
We sat down here, so we need to move her.
That's why you came in then.
I have to go back to the classroom and give you guys some information before I leave.
Ready to go, Karen. Whenever you're ready. Next.
Okay.
Is it all right to just
Absolutely.
give this
Go
to you?
right ahead.
All right, you're gonna love this. Heather Petrusik, teacher over at Washington Center at Hollis, her husband works for TD Bank.
Oh,
She
yeah.
said they.
She taught us last year.
Did she?
But just about kind of getting things going.
Oh, go to this link. Ask them for money. It's for a grant. Make sure that that the amount is more than you would imagine that you
We
would
want
get.
$1 million.
And they'll give you, and she said, and they
Half of
will
that.
give you money. They will give you money. She can't do it because her husband wants it. If you have any questions, just ask her, but I put the information here.
Right.
Please, in the grant request, include the tax ID number. That tends to warm people's hearts. The tax write-off. Also, Donna Crump, Dr. Rogers mentioned the nurse over at Hollis who has donor potential in Charleston. They're actually relatives of one of her parents, and they want to give money. And she mentioned something about photography.
Yeah, and something that her sister is an attorney and has other colleagues that would be willing to contribute. So we asked them to send them a bill. So we can
Names and addresses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here is Donna's email address. She can get
So we
more
have to get in
information.
touch with her.
Her name is Donna Crump.
To
Yeah,
get
and
the
she'll
address to send
exactly
one of
Okay.
these.
Yes. So
And the grant, I mean,
Money.
we have to have a cause, don't we? I mean, you know, yeah.
well, it can be our school and you know the things that we need, the adaptive equipment or whatever.
Okay, it can be a broad.
Whatever.
Right.
We all,
Field trips.
when I do the Walmart ones, I put in field trips as a biggie, getting out in the community.
That we really, that is a need.
Yeah.
We have a limited amount, especially money right now. And I was saying, it was kind of like that. My idea has been, build the field and they will come. I'm waiting for them to come.
Well, we've been waiting too, but I think it's going to come.
I think it's coming. So, but we are
I do
going
too.
to make plans for these children, so we're going to figure out a way to get them.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go meet my kids at PE. I'm sorry, guys.
Thank you. No, you're fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll just, let's not let it get lost.
Thank you.
I mean,
Okay,
hang
hold
on
on.
to
Yeah.
it.
So we don't need that. Okay, okay, you talked about that. I just, basically just, in January's meeting, executive meeting, we had discussed about, the staff teacher incentive for, the, paid registrations or sponsors. We actually had to do some amending to those minutes because, after further thinking about that and going, we have just limited it to staff and teachers, and it's just for 5. Even if they get 25, we're greatly appreciated, but they just get a $20 gift card. If they get 5 paid walkers or sponsors, we're just trying to generate people there at the event. And, teachers plus the parapros, for, at least 5, then they're going to get a $20 gift card from Target. So we amended the minutes to say that. We approved that. And I don't know, Jane, if you want to talk about the WYFF thing.
I'm just waiting for you and Carla to pick a date for me to send to Myra Ruiz. She's waiting because I talked to her.
Okay.
And the only one I'm available is early because Chloe's in dance competitions. And I told her I hate to wait that long because it's a month out from the walk.
Yeah, most of them are usually like the week before.
Yeah.
The ones I see, it's like the next weekend's the event.
And we can't, the weekend before that is spring break, which it might not matter. Spring break's kind of a problem, but anyway, I emailed that to y'all. So she said, just let her know, and y'all are available. I just wanted y'all to know how early it was. It is early in the morning.
Yeah, you got to be there by 6:45.
So if y'all give me a date, because I told her that if we can have another day.
So,
somebody else
me and
can
you?
go.
Well,
Well, I'm just saying y'all answered the email.
I understand.
so lucky that we answered the email.
Why didn't nobody else answer that email?
It just listen, I feel ties having to do this. So if there's anyone else,
Well, yeah, I don't mind going, but of course I'm not going by myself at all.
I don't mind going.
At all.
And
And
I don't know if this is something that they may be willing to do, but could they come out and tape a piece ahead of time?
I don't know. See, these are just,
No, I'm saying we still have somebody go live.
yeah.
but at least they have something that they have on tape that is maybe showing specifically what we're doing with this. Like,
Well, now we do got our little video on YouTube. You know, we could send them, and you
They
know,
could show a 30-second
Like a clip of that.
clip of that.
and I mean, you know, that does show students.
We could get Myra Ruiz to be here talking to Penny or teachers or something about that and showing
And y'all are
what
welcome
we're trying to do.
to come on.
You know, and see if we could get something where she's walked through, because I think at that point we might be able to get them to play it at 6:45.
Well, you know, kids actually
Maybe
were.
7 or 8, 9, 10 o'clock hour, they might throw it in there. It's kind of a feel-good.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, we might could use that later on, you know, for another thing, because we're, you know, Sarah Collins, the Pay It Forward yard sale, their money went towards purchasing that chair, a chair that was suggested that we needed. And we're looking for a, you know, once we get that chair in, you know, we want to cooperate with Sarah Collins and have some media event for that. You know, and, you know, just,
And when they do that, if the media's here, you could throw in, and we're looking forward to.
you know, and yeah, I mean, you know, that's exactly right. You know, so we'll, you know, of course, we want to wait for the chair to come in, and, you know, then we're going, so we're, you know, that can be.
Carol Goldsmith, she's going to.
She's the MC.
So she's kind of got a vested interest in getting people out there. So I don't know if we can tap into that and say, hey, could you
Get
do
some.
something as well? Maybe is that a double? Let's do that.
You know, last year she pushed us over to Myra.
Right.
She, when I asked her, it was just, you know what, I wish I could, but we have to go through certain channels. That was a response I got last year from her. It might be a different response this year, but I think her hands are a little bit tied by the, I don't know, but maybe, you know, someone else could approach her.
That's okay. We could throw it from all sides.
Yeah.
Still can.
The little blip this morning,
No,
Skipper's class had sent, not a text, but Twitter, a tweet to the Olympic team saying, you know, from the Special Olympics group in the Skipper's class to the USA team, good luck or whatever, and they had that on this morning.
Oh, that's nice.
30 years ago.
Wow.
That's great.
What I was thinking was, what they mentioned at the SIC, was Amy Garvey's class is actually going out and doing Meals on Wheels. So, if
I missed all that.
shows up
Oh.
with these kids going in there and talking, you know, with the elderly or whatever, and just bringing that stuff in.
Whoa.
I missed
Who would
that.
not want to see it?
What did he say?
Ellie Garvey's class has,
Doing
it's
meals
one of
on
their
wheels.
community, based instruction activities, they're doing meals on wheels.
What are they doing?
That's great.
I didn't know where they do it, I didn't even ask.
You know, I don't know.
And do you know when they're doing it?
About once a month.
Oh,
Oh, so they do it. They've been doing it.
So,
And they do it at a center, so I think it's it's not going to individual.
Oh, the news needs to know about that.
Yeah.
It
it's
definitely
I mean, they,
Right.
never, I mean, that is great.
Say, I just did my route this morning. Just,
I mean, if you could,
you
Wow.
want to mention that to me?
Well, so what days, can y'all do?
Let's see. Okay, now the walk's the 26th. You got the calendar? What? I mean, the
21st is
weekend
the
before
t-shirt
that.
Party. Monday's the t-shirt party.
And spring
No,
break.
it's done on Saturdays and
Spring
Sundays.
break is,
Oh, this is Saturday, a weekend? It
well,
has to be
through the,
it has to be the 19th.
Either the 5th, 12th, or 19th.
And that's part of spring break.
The 19th is the week before.
The 19th is
That's
the week
also
before.
spring break. I don't
I
think
can't do the 5th.
I don't
Be
think
out
I
of
can
town,
do
but
it.
somebody else could, but I could, I mean, we're not going anywhere for spring break. I mean, we may go away for a few days, but the 12th, is Easter Sunday the 13th?
No, Easter's 20th.
It is the 20th.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'd rather do the 12th than the 19th.
Yeah, April 12th.
Okay, so April 12th, I'll show up.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, what's there?
Well, no, I mean, that early in the morning, I can, any day would be fine with me.
But it has to be, isn't it on a Saturday? or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
You're there at 6:45.
And if I'm in town, I don't mind going with you, as long as I'm not at.
Yeah, well, you can go. Or the three of us can go.
Are you looking to bring kids at all, or just?
know, why don't you ask her?
I mean, you could, it's
Those are
just so
some
rude.
Tommy wouldn't do well on
It is so
camera. He
rude.
would-
Yeah.
It's very rude.
these.
Yeah, they might.
And you have to wait just till they put you on. I mean, you gotta give them time that they put you on.
And here's some
And
more, actually.
this, y'all might have covered this already, you might already have an answer, but I was in a class this morning. Barbara Bingham called me and left me a message this morning about Outback, so I don't have any other information. When we left our meeting a few weeks ago, I called her that afternoon and left her a message about what we were asking, and hadn't heard from her until this morning. She left me a message to call her. I don't know if you, I don't have any information. Okay. She just called today. Okay, so I'll tell her April 12th. My release.
That's why I have four.
And you have not heard from the marketing.
Yes, I have.
Yes, she.
And
We got it. Y'all, so I just emailed them at the beginning of this meeting, so that's why I was being so rude. And so do you want me to read the response?
Yeah.
Yes.
They need to get together with us right away, but this is the volunteer marketing group that
That
we
we was,
approached 2 years ago we filled out an application. What they do is they like to market one event a year for a nominal fee. And they get a lot of interns in there and people that are trying to get experience. And so they called us again this year and said we had filed your application and we want to reconsider you all for marketing. And they'll do a billboard. Yes.
Wow.
So,
Put it on Woodruff Road.
Yeah.
anyway, hi Carla, I'm so glad you sent me a
385
note. I just emailed her, 30 minutes ago. I've been meaning to call Jane all week with the good news that AAF Greenville's Public Service Committee did in fact choose Washington Center PTA to be our beneficiary for 2014. And now to get down to business, since you guys only have 2 months until your event, when can we get together for a planning meeting? Go-to meeting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who all of your key stakeholders will be in terms of working with us, but do you think it would be better to have a meeting for just an hour or so to get up to speed on what is already set for this year and what opportunities we have to help you grow the event during or after business hours? Ours is a group of volunteers who all have 9 to 5+ jobs, but my committee has been very accommodating for both during and after hours, so we'll do what's best for you. Next week would be great, so things can get rolling. My personal schedule is booked Monday through Wednesday, but I could do after hours, or the rest of the group could update me later. I'd really like to participate, though. If you can give me some options, I'll work it out with the team.
We
Wow.
that is
could get
I'll
them,
forward this to you.
we could buy them lunch here. I think if we could buy them lunch here and have them come here, we can give them lunch.
This is not.
Yeah,
I mean,
Is this
great
not-
idea. Great idea.
At least
You
they're
hear
getting
Sarah
something.
Jane was just saying buying them lunch. Bring them here, see if they can come here.
I they would have, but
yeah, I think they need to see where they're, who we are.
Yeah.
And again, you can piggyback all this stuff out there. If somebody can't make it, you say, listen, can you get us who can get here and who can't? And who can't get here, we send an email to and say, click on here and you can join the meeting live. And we can video it from here while it's going on. And people can get in there and participate from their desks or wherever they're gonna be.
Okay.
And they might, next week, we're gonna have stuff up and ready for the food hall. So that might be a good time to have guests come. We have a couple of other schools that are gonna be providing artwork classes and classes and things.
We actually received some of that this morning.
The
Elementary school, yeah, they were wonderful.
Oh, me.
Children's portraits of Martin Luther King Jr. and they just first graders, and they've done such a beautiful job. Yeah.
Well,
So,
the next,
who's
Thursday, Friday,
available?
she said she can't do Monday through Wednesday.
Right, and she really wants to be here, so Thursday or Friday of next week?
And Friday's kind of a problem for the administration, because they're all, we're
Okay.
getting it up to go to the conference.
You want to see if we can set it up for Thursday?
How does Thursday work for you, Jane? I know, what about you, Karen?
Uh,
What's the date?
That's the 27th.
That's the 27th.
I mean,
I'm
I can
free.
do it. I mean, don't you want as many people that can be
Oh,
here?
yeah.
You,
So
do
far,
you,
yep, Thursday.
and you want to be the one, I'll let you email her.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm available.
I'm available.
I'm
And I mean, I guess we're available
We're
to
gonna
go
try to do a
with
lunch.
them. It's going to be downtown, I would guess, if they can't come here. You know, Peyton works at Irwin Penland, and I'm sure some of the other, you know, I think they're kind of from all over, but, I mean, Greenville area, but different marketing firms.
Okay, so they're not all from the
By
same.
that.
I don't think they're all from, I'm pretty sure they're
Irwin
not
Penland.
all from Irwin Penland.
What do we say, like 11:30 to 1:30? Or
I mean, are we trying to do lunch? Well, it might depend on them, what they
Yes.
I
have.
think by the time we talk to them and take a tour, it's going to be, and we feed them something. I mean,
I guess what we need to let them know is that we really need to do it during their work day, and would lunch be, you know, their
Do
best
they come
time.
here, or do we need to go
To
there?
know
Well,
what
we'd
they're
like for them to
thinking,
come
how much
here.
time they think that they need
I know. Yeah.
to begin with. So that's
Exactly.
going to depend on it too.
Yeah.
If we're different agencies, we couldn't go to just one place anyway, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it really
And we're not
does.
that
And I'm
far.
sure they have a central. Yeah, that's true. I bet they would want to come here. Yeah. Okay.
They really do need to see us.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Get a good idea what they
And they'll come up with the design for whatever we want.
Hmm?
They'll come up for the design of whatever.
Yeah, I think Jane and I already told them. I let them know we had a logo that we were sticking with, but that was one reason why we were holding off on posters, because
Okay.
if they can do that for us. They can do a
Good.
billboard. And
I'd
then,
love
of
to
course,
see a
I think they
billboard.
want to really help
Can you
us
imagine?
with maybe getting some sponsor contacts, too.
Oh, by the way.
Marketing's all about.
So
That's
we'll
right.
really
That's
need
right.
some envelope stuffers next year.
Yeah! We're going to have an envelope stuffing committee.
Yeah,
That's all they do.
Well, that was
Just
great.
let us know what she says, Jane. That's exciting.
That's great.
That is great. Okay, and then I just briefly read the email from that Leanne White. I think she forwarded it to you, the Dr. Seuss lady.
Yes. Wants to come and do that.
Come do that, you know.
And we're going to have music throughout the building.
Okay, so you've already,
talked to
okay,
her.
good, great, thank you, thank you.
You're handling all Dr. Seuss stuff. I didn't know if we really were supposed to be involved. I don't know. So do we just kind of let y'all do whatever?
I think Cindy, the PE person here, is working with the PE person, I guess Lisa Van, is that who's doing it out there? And,
Sarah Collins.
Sarah Collins.
Good.
Because when I stopped in one day this week, I asked her, I said, you know, they thought it'd be good to have music throughout the building rather than just in one area. She said, oh, we'll work out that, take care of it, definitely going to do that. So, she had talked to me.
So we as a PTA don't, I don't think
I
we
think we're
normally
good.
do, and I just, after talking to, Shannon, our PTA president, just about at the beginning of the year about stuff, and they mentioned this, and I thought,
Yeah.
I don't want to not say anything, so when I emailed about, I think you're on that, about, can the PTA do anything, so we don't.
I think.
Okay.
As far as
I know we normally don't,
Okay, that's,
but I didn't,
well, it sounds like fun,
It is.
so y'all enjoy
It's
it.
like a school thing, we're not really here, so.
They started in front and they came down past the cafeteria, and so there's a little spell of space where they don't see anybody. All the other kids are out in the hallway. Classes all come out their doors, and so they come through. And we're going to encourage people to make signs that say "Yay" or "Go Dr. Seuss" or something.
Something.
You know, so they'll be participatory. And so by the time the children rounded the corner, I happened to be at the cafeteria. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of them were real wide-eyed because they had just come into the building. They were sort of like, they didn't know what they were all very present. So as they came around, I was like, yay! They were like, oh, good. So anybody who wants to come and just cheer on, because our children are cheerers, you know,
Yeah.
adults are.
And it's gonna be March the 7th, did y'all decide that?
Do we have a day?
That's what I have at
Okay.
1:30.
What time, 11:30?
1:30.
And it just so
1:30.
happened that Cindy had set up the sound system over here. So afterwards, one of the teachers said to me, boy, by the time we got around to the other side, which was our, older kids, everything loosened up. And so we decided then we got to have music.
Use
next
it the
year
whole way.
everywhere.
Well, and too, that, some of the kids that like music, they'll get involved with
That's
that.
right.
So is that on a, what is March 7th? Is that Friday?
That's Friday.
At 1:30?
1 to 2 o'clock is what I have.
1.
1 to 2.
She's Dr. Seuss Day.
Okay, that might be fun. We have to, and the kids, those Sarah Collins kids, they're dressed up?
All dressed up as a
Character.
Yeah. And so then
That's cute.
cute they can be. A lot of the adults did too.
And actually, Sarah Collins is sending some children over for our Valentine's Day.
Oh, did y'all? I wondered about
They're
that.
self-contained.
Yeah, so
Kids in orthopedic classes are going to
Oh, that's sweet.
a level, yeah. But not a, she didn't need a registration.
30 people altogether.
Okay, and then, of course, let's see, where's that? Denise printed off, volunteer hours. Natasha asked me to mention that. So here's a form. There's one, you know, you can, y'all take them, fill them out. That's down there. And, you know, as you leave, you can just leave them to Denise, and she can log them in. And then, of course, staff. Go ahead.
The hours that I've emailed her already.
Yeah, don't include those. These are just
Starting
whatever you have it mailed thus to this day,
This day.
you know, do that. And then, you know, monthly you can, you know, because it just says for, you know, month or year. So, you know, maybe just once a month keep up with them, and then at the end of that month turn them into the next.
Okay.
I can make copies of it.
And then,
Oh, here.
They just,
okay, those
I pulled them out
Okay,
from a
that's-
few people that.
And then I guess next week we're doing, I'm helping Natasha do the staff lunch. I did email another parent to see if she wanted to come in and help us. I haven't heard from her yet. And I forget what Natasha's doing. Do y'all remember? Staff?
Oh,
No, I'm talking about what lunch are we having?
I saw Firehouse.
Firehouse
Yeah,
Subs,
so-
that's right.
And that's going to be
So
the
that's,
26th.
yeah, that's next Wednesday. Natasha and I are doing that.
Oh, well, I mean, I probably can come over after I finish.
Well, I know Natasha said something about having to leave early, didn't she?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So if I'm just late, that's okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
And then help you clean up and everything.
Yeah,
Y'all, tomorrow, I don't mean to take over, but while we're on, I am meeting with the graphic designer. And listen, this just came about yesterday. I've been trying to get him for 3 weeks. He's just so busy. And so he finally just said, can you come tomorrow at 10:30? So does anyone want to come?
What is this?
The t-shirt guy. And all I'm going to have him do is just plop in some pom-poms, maybe come up with a couple of different designs that are going to be slightly different, and then I'll be sure and show everybody what he comes up with before we say yeah.
So we were just going to make her a cheerleader, right?
Yeah, we're just going to make her cheerleader.
And we decided on heather gray, like that shirt,
Yes.
with the, you know,
Electric
just
blue.
like this writing, with the electric
So
blue writing.
No, I'm going to him.
Oh, okay.
He's
It's
next-
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I know. It's at 10:30. I have to get them when I can get them.
Oh, yeah.
What time is the Valentine thing? At 10?
9:30.
9:30. Well, I can come to that for a little while.
Is that Mike Miles?
It is Mike. It's Mike's graphic designer. Mike's a good friend of ours from I guess we go to the same church, same school. Our children went to the same school. St. Mary's. Yeah. Hey, you just know Mike from First Team?
Well, from there, no, I remember the Knights of Columbus too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so's his dad, Mike Senior.
Yeah.
Who owns a very large, very profitable machine shop.
Oh.
So when you're talking,
Mike has never mentioned that.
you
Okay.
say, hey, would your
I think
dad be
one
willing to hand him one of those? I meant to send Mike Senior one of the forms in the sponsorship.
Can you send him
Yeah,
one?
sure, I can send it over to him. But I was just thinking about it, I think that's Mike's son who owns the
It is.
sports thing.
And then Daryl is his graphic designer. But Mike's been doing our T-shirts for the past 3 years now. He gives us 100 free, and then gives us a good price on the rest. But which he did say he's going to switch us back to Gildan, by the way, because we.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he said at the same
I'll
price.
hit Don, his son-in-law too, so we keep
Yeah.
Don,
Yeah.
Good.
and we'll see if we can, because he works with Senior.
That's understood that that's terrorist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you want to send those to staff? And if you could get a copy of them.
I guess I need to approve the minute meeting next, right?
Sponsor forms.
The other thing you all talked about was perhaps sending out one of the PTA emails, giving them the link to the June Bossy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If they wanted to support her in her marathon.
Okay.
And then what have we done with these in the past? When everybody's sponsored?
Actually, I think we put registration forms, and we gave each teacher enough to send one home with each child.
That's right.
And then last year we gave teachers
Yeah.
a blank, the generic letter, and
Yeah.
corporate sponsorship, 5 per teacher,
Right.
per staff. Just say, can you
The handouts.
hand
Yeah,
this?
it would be nice if each teacher could communicate. Please let us know if you'd like a sponsor.
So 9:30 on Valentine's Day, that's right, okay. I'll put a little bit of that. No, I haven't. Have you said anything to Sharon?
I did, but it's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, I have not tried to contact him since late fall, and I mean, I'll try him again. Since you said something to her, maybe it's then now that I can,
And she may have forgotten to say something to him, so they both should be.
Oh, yeah, and I don't want to put you, that's uncomfortable for you, but if you wouldn't mind saying something to her again, I'll keep calling.
Okay.
I'll bug them.
You're trying to show. Because
They gave us $4,000
Yeah.
2 years ago. I mean, because of Linda Hill and the friendship, he just called us up. I mean, we contacted him, and then he called us up and said, "What do y'all need?" And we were like, "What are your expenses?" I can't get them back. I can't get them back.
I know.
Get them.
Get a hold of that man. We need that
I'll
man.
try to call you.
That would be great. Thank you.
And you
Yes.
can
They
live
need
with
one of
us
these,
somebody.
No. Level. I need a level.
And actually, Sarah Jane reached out to BMW a few years ago.
Well, and they gave us,
They
what,
did. They gave us
500?
250.
250?
Yeah.
But I didn't see a letter going to them.
So we need to send
Where are the corporate
another
letters?
letter.
We did it.
Oh, you did them down there. Oh, okay. Okay. So y'all sent them a sponsor.
Then there's a new crowd that's going to go more with $1 billion investment.
That's right.
Real quick, if everyone wants to take a quick look at the meeting notes, these are the official meeting notes from the January meeting, and we did make the amendment that Karen had just mentioned regarding that it will only be $50, or 5 sponsors and $20 gift card. That has been retyped, so that is corrected. Everything else is pretty much the same. Any other corrections? Can I get a motion to approve these?
I approve.
Okay, and second? Thank you.
Are we out of sponsorship?
No. You need a sponsor.
Okay, that's all I have, unless you
I
can
just have questions about, I don't know if you want to close the meeting, or all the questions I have are about the.
Yeah, we'll look at those.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess the meeting is closed now. The next general meeting will be Thursday.
9, that's the 9th meeting.
March 13th.
Okay, that's the night meeting,
March 13th.
6:30 p.m.
6:30. Okay, the next meeting will be the ninth meeting at 6:30, and it'll, be here at the schools somewhere, probably, possibly in this room, library.
And executive.
And then,
details.
we could probably add the go-to meeting to that, could we?
Well, that's really probably going to be the best thing for the executive meetings.
Okay.
So what we can do is we can actually put it on here, and I might be able to set up a broadcast if you want to.
No, I mean, that's fine, yeah.
Or we can just tape it again, video capture it, and post it.
Yeah. I think we should video capture it and post it, so that those that can't be there,